I'm Anastasia, and this is something that helped me. I know every story is different, but I hope that in this you can find something to help you as well. Best of luck.
I don't know if it will really help anybody at all, but I'd like to share my story of pre-diagnosis and then on through my son's journey kind of as it happened. And so I'd like to share with you something that I wrote the day of his diagnosis. I wrote, "I'm so grateful for an amazing pediatrician who took my worry seriously and argued with my insurance to get us into the hospital for MRI. I'm so glad we had a nice car trip playing silly games and let Ben choose his favorite place to eat a yummy dinner. I'm glad that we stayed in a really nice hotel and my husband and I got to relax watching fun shows the night before Ben's MRI, because that was a major turning point in our lives. The MRI showed Ben had multiple brain tumors, one bigger than an egg, and so much pressure in his skull the doctors would not wake him from anesthesia after the MRI, thinking that he needed emergency surgery, like right that minute emergency surgery. When we explained that he was just sleepy but perfectly fine if they could wake him, they decided to postpone surgery one day to get a baseline testing and map his brain for the best surgical approach. Once Ben got all settled into the hospital room, it felt so nice to hug him, and with one little snuggle, he fell almost immediately asleep." When you are stressed out or worried, what is one thing that you can always count on to ease your worry and comfort you? Are you a hugger? Who do you like to hug? I suggest, if you're all stressed out, give somebody a hug, a big bear hug. Now, some people will enjoy this a lot more than others. Some people will hug almost anybody and feel great doing it, while some people only have a few select friends or family members that they feel comfortable embracing in a hug. Whatever category you fall into, giving a hug has actual physical effects on your body, and long hugs can reduce blood pressure and reduce the negative effects of stress. Hugging can lead to an increased release of oxytocin, a feel-good hormone in the bloodstream, and that can lead to a warm, fuzzy feeling. So take a minute and think of who you like to hug, and if at all possible, find them and give them a big, long bear hug. If you don't have a lot of close friends, or if nobody's there with you now, if you have a favorite pet, this would work. Your pet may enjoy your hug, and you may get a similar boost of oxytocin from giving the pet a hug. Have you ever heard of the charity A Pile of Puppies? It's exactly what it sounds like. They bring a pile of cute, cuddly puppies around to the hospitals, and they can visit patients. And I have a few friends whose children got to do this during their treatment, or maybe right after their treatment or right before their treatment. And anyway, they said that it was so amazing to watch in kind of a bleak and not great feeling day. Here come in this pile of puppies, and you know puppies, they're all so happy and excited and wagging their tails and licking you, and it just brings with them a feeling of exuberance and happiness and joy, and it's a wonderful, wonderful distraction to ease some stress and frustration. And so anyway, enjoy hugging some cuddly puppies if possible, even if they're not yours, even if it's just for a short little visit. If you're really far away from friends and family members and not maybe having anybody you can hug at all, you can still enjoy hugging a soft stuffed animal or maybe even your pillow, and that can still give you a release of oxytocin, which can help you feel better. I find it a little hard to believe that hugging a pillow can give you the same release of oxytocin as hugging your husband, but there have been studies that showed that this act of hugging something and squeezing it tight kind of for a long time has this physical effect on our body that releases this feel-good hormone, and it can help people feel better. So I would encourage you, give somebody a hug or a pet or a stuffed animal or a pillow. Just try it out, see how you feel. I hope that you'll feel great. I hope it will help you. If not, then there's a lot of other tips and tricks you can try. I wonder in the comments here if you have ever had an experience where you 100% clearly could feel the difference of how you felt before a hug and how you felt after a hug. Have you ever felt an absolute difference where you knew that that hug made you feel better, less stressful, less worried, less fearful, less alone, more comforted? If so, that'd be a fun story to share in the comments. I'd be interested to hear your story of when you had a hug and it made you feel better. I'd like to hear it if you're willing to share. Thank you.
It used to really bother me. Every single person would say, I don't know how you do it. And for me, I realized the answer is 1 day at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time. People would say, I could never do that. Yes, you could, and you will. The journey is long and bumpy, but keep taking those tiny steps, and you can do this. I promise. Whatever is standing in front of you today,